I would appreciate that. And I was listening to your interview that Randy Bigley did a great job the other day when you came up,
Oh,
and I'm 59 years old, and so this started in
5.
65. So I was 2 years old when this started. That's a credit to your father and Harry Wells, who
Yes.
really got this thing going, but a credit to you guys for continuing it. Talk about how the kind of that level of pride that you have something that you never knew was going to morph into this, and here 57 years later, you're still looking for the best bowler in Bucyrus of the top 16 that are going to go into this tournament. Talk about how proud you are that this is continuing on.
Well, it's really interesting. It's as Bill and his dad had said, and Harry, this is a labor of love. Every time you come up to the holidays, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, here comes January 1st, and I have to start this all over again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun, and frustrating at times, but what isn't? And just have a lot of fun with it, and enjoy being around the guys, because I'm bowling on different nights with those guys and competing against them. So it's real interesting to watch them when they're on a pair of lanes, two guys as opposed to 4 or 5 on each team. So it's just really great to be a part of this. This is roughly my 10th year on being tournament director of the Invitational, and just, somebody was asking me today, where'd the 10 years go? I said, well, I got older and grayer.
Yeah, true.
Well, when you talk to the guys, and Junior, I'm sure you've talked to them, and the guys that are going to be in the tournament, when does the excitement really kind of start for them, where they start really thinking about, wow, am I going to get in based on my average? And then when they find out they're going to get in, when does that excitement kind of start?
I would think it'd probably be the 1st of November when they start listing averages and guys can see where they stand. I mean, I'm certain a lot of guys know where they stand, but there's nothing put down in print where they are. But that when them first couple lists come out and guys say, well, I'm just a couple out of making it, or I'm up in the top 2 and I'm probably going to be all right, that's probably when it starts getting exciting for them.
Mm-hmm. And you take basically the top 15 bowlers, because last year's champion is an automatic, right?
Right.
Correct.
We only had that happen once.
What's that?
We only had that happen once.
What do you mean?
The defending champion got hurt,
Oh, is that right?
and he didn't bowl the next year.
Oh, is that right? What year was that?
I don't know. Jack Book was the bowler.
It was,
I'm not sure what it was.
Is that right? So Mike Lear came out of the losers bracket last year to face Don McLaughlin, who happened to roll 1,000 series in the semis, and that's crazy. So who, I recall, help me to remember who actually ended up winning last year?
Donnie did.
Don.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It
He
went
did
into the 5th game roll-off.
Yeah.
Okay, so he will automatically be in.
Right.
Very
Right.
good. And you start it all off tomorrow. We have a guy on the phone, kind of a famous guy, that wants to talk to both of you. And from Florida,
Oh.
we got Davy
Yeah.
Jones calling in.
I would never guess.
Hi, Davy. How are you? You're with Bill Rahm Jr. and Bill Hansen here. Mm-hmm. Oh.
The inner city. The inner city?
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh. Mm. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just telling Bill today, it amazes me how many people show up for the opening weekend and the finals. I mean, I get up there in the lanes and start my spiel, and there's about 200 people out there, you know. So I mean,
Does
it's
that make
Yeah.
you nervous? Does that make you guys nervous, or
it used to.
no? The guys when they're does that make you guys nervous or not? No, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
here. You got me?
Yeah. It did. It did. It did the first couple years.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Say again.
Setup and making sure all the equipment worked, and
Mm-hmm.
especially when we had the television. Uh, I think it was 1986, 87, 88. We had Bucyrus Cable Access Television, and I had no idea they were showing up. It was a guy named Dick Harbaugh, who was kind of a associate of Access Television, a volunteer. And he came out with his equipment and says, I'm going to video the whole thing and put it on TV. Do you mind if we use your audio? And I go, let me think about that. Sure, go ahead. Yeah, absolutely use our audio. And then we worked with Access Television for years with Dick Harbaugh, and then later on with Bob and Linda Durkee. And Bob and Linda Durkee created the two-camera shot, and they did a great job. And always had it on Access TV. And then the next year, before the Bill Rahm would happen, they put last year's Bill Rahm on cable TV, and people thought, "Oh my gosh, I missed it." No, that's last year's championship, not this year's championship. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working with Bill Senior and Harry Wells, and then I had several guys helping me out with the play-by-play commentary. Started with Hank Davis. I had Rick Brienza, who worked at the radio station for a while, and he came out and helped me out. And Harry Wells jumped in on it. It was Harry, Bill, and I for a number of years, and then when Harry's health wouldn't permit him to do it anymore, Bill Hansen jumped in. And then we've had Deb Mason help us out with the women for a long, long time. And like I said, I really, really enjoyed this thing. It was a lot of fun. And, I want to wish you guys a lot of luck tomorrow and say howdy to you before the whole thing started. Before I leave, I wanted to say something really quick, not about bowling, but you may have heard last week about the basketball game between Gallion and Bucyrus, where Malachi Bayless scored 44 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that was tied a record that was set back in 1966 by Jim Kirkham. Jim Kirkham scored 44 points. And a couple of interesting things about that. Both guys scored 44 points. Both times it was against Gallion, and both times Bucyrus lost. Bucyrus lost the game in 66, 111 to 108, and in, I think, 3 overtimes. And then, of course, Bucyrus lost the other day, I think, by 20 points to Gallion, but Malachi had 44 points. Another interesting thing, if you get Dan Messerschmidt to come in, one guy, though we know of at least one person that was at both of those games, and that guy's name is Dan Messerschmidt. Dan was at the game, and Dan was at the game as a freshman in high school in 1966, January 1966, and of course he was at the game this last week. But that was very interesting. Malachi has a very good chance. He's only a junior of becoming the very first Bucyrus player in school history. Boys, not girls. We've had 5 girls have scored over 1,000 points, but we've never had a guy score 1,000 points. Got some that into the 970s and 980s, but never got a 1,000-point score. And Malachi, if he stays healthy, has a very good opportunity to hit that 1,000 points. And that 44 points against Galleon the other night was a real show. And
good.
deserves congratulations. So you get a chance, get Messerschmidt in there and talk to you about that a little bit.
All right. Very good.
All right. Well, listen, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Good luck tomorrow, and I'm glad you allowed me to share just a little bit of time with the guys here on the radio.
Absolutely. Good.
Thanks,
Hope
Davey.
things are going well for you.
Take care,
All right.
Davey.
Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll
All
see
right.
you.
I know.
Well, yeah, Davey's got such a deep history with this tournament with both of you, and I know, he probably is really glad to be nice and warm in sunny Florida, but probably is aching to be with you tomorrow at Suburban. Let me get a quick break in here. We'll come back and we'll start to dive into who's going to be in the tournament, who you have as some favorites, think can get through it, and kind of the way that this is going to all play out. I'm visiting with Bill Rahm Jr. and Bill Hansen, that are representing the 57th Annual Bill Rahm Invitational Bowling Tournament here in Bucyrus that kicks off tomorrow at Suburban Lanes. We'll be right back after this time out.
Join us this February 13th at Baker's